from a galaxy far, far away.
And a bookshelf straight out of the 90s.
From Thrawn to Dantooine.
And everything in between. This is Legends Lookback.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Legends Lookback, proudly part of the Utini Podcast Network. This is a Star Wars books podcast for people who like to woogity from time to time, where we celebrate the Star Wars EU and expand your universe one episode at a time. I'm your host, Jared Mays. I'm joined tonight by the ever-wonderful Freddie C. How are you, Freddie?
I'm doing all right. We had a pre-chat, and I'm still trying to digest that a little bit.
Yeah, it's a little weird. It's a little weird, to be honest. We're going to spare the listeners from that one. You know what we're not going to spare them from, however, is looking like Han Solo now that it is the fall. Ladies and gentlemen, and everyone in between, that is Emily Dayback. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing well, Jared. The takes are hot tonight. The banter has been bantering, and I am very much looking forward to the show.
That's right. Yeah, I've got an upset stomach. I've got the popcorn vomit bowl in my lap. So if you hear one of these during the episode, everything's fine.
Just
it's fine.
More.
Yeah. But let's hope that it's free. And apologies to all of our listeners who are sympathetic pukers, who just puked on their dogs while they were out walking them. But you don't have to puke on any dogs to listen to this episode of Legends Look Back, because tonight we're going to do our monthly roundup show. We're going to be getting into the news. There's news. We got the action figures, the upcoming re-releases, and then we've got a very fun special announcement. How excited are you guys to unveil the big news?
It's about time. I'm excited, and I'm pretty sure all of our listeners, hopefully, are just as excited.
Yeah, Emily, will it be bigger or not as big news as the time that you announced you were pregnant live on air?
I feel like to the average listener, it will probably be bigger news because, let's face it, nobody cares when someone else is having a baby. They only care when they're having a baby. So I think you're going to be very pleasantly surprised. It's a big surprise.
That's right. And also, my sister's going to have my baby. That's a good moment.
No one's sister is having a baby. It's just a friend's quote.
No.
Calm down.
Yeah, I don't have a sister. Yeah, I do live in Arkansas, so like it's
possible.
It's possible.
Not outside.
But let's get into it, guys. A little bit of a segment here that's going to be transitioning. That is the segment that we have known, which I just realized I've been misspelling for 4 years. Thracken's Thrift Store.
Oh my gosh.
The segment known as Thracken's Thrift Store, in which we unveil recent collectibles that we have acquired. The recent acquisitions segment, we're moving it to Discord. All right, we've done it on air for years. It's time to get the community involved, right? We want to see what you all are collecting, because honestly, our wallets need a break. But I did get something new because I had a birthday the other day.
Ooh, tell us about it, Jared.
You want to take a stab? You want to take a wild guess, Emily, on what random Legends object I acquired for my birthday? I'll give you a hint. It's super haunted.
Oh, golly. I was going to go for belt buckle, but I feel like a haunted belt buckle would be a little disturbing.
That sounds awesome.
Wouldn't it be cool?
My pants just fall off.
Oh, no.
It wasn't me. It was a goat.
No, what did you get?
Freddie, take a guess. We got a belt buckle guess. It's pretty good.
Okay, belt buckle. That is a very Jared thing. I'm trying to think of books. I can think of several books that are a little haunted, but maybe not haunted, more just zombie-ish. It's a good one. I couldn't tell you.
All right, I got and check out the Legends Collections channel in Discord. I've got some pictures of it. The Yavin 4 Rebel Base Lego set. Got that for my birthday.
You've been wanting that for a long time, haven't you?
I have for a long time, years.
Congratulations.
Or however long it's been.
Have you built
it's been
it?
Released. Yeah, basically demanded it, to be honest. Yeah, built it Sunday afternoon. Had a good time with it. My girls, they're now old enough to like follow the directions and do the sets themselves.
Aww.
And so this one had like 11 bags, so we split them up, 2 bags each, which does not equal 11. We're great at math here. So they had to go to bed, and I finished it while I watched the Steelers put down the beatdown on the Jets on Sunday Night Football, which was fantastic. But so they were kind of doing some themselves, and I was doing some. It was a magical experience. Until, of course, the ghosts came out. Exar Kun.
Exar Kun, yeah, there it is.
Yeah, he's definitely hanging out in there, haunting the place. But it's very cool. Very happy to have it. Got it all set up in here. How about you guys? Before we yeet this segment to Discord once and for all, any last hoorahs for Thracken's thrift store?
Not on my end, unfortunately. Had to move a whole state, so that took most of the Thracken funds.
Yeah. It's been yeeted through the U-Haul moving van.
Yeah, nothing on my
Yeah,
end.
and Emily
I'm just considering
is-
signing up. No, I'm not signing up. I'm considering dressing up as Mara Jade for Halloween because I've recently dyed my hair dark red. So the situation could not be more perfect. And so I did treat myself to some Doc Martens the other day, and I was like, I could totally make this into like a really cool Mara Jade costume. So I haven't decided if I'm going to go all in because I'm going to be with my like kid who's like Jasmine, the princess. And my other kid who's going to be like a polar bear. So like it will not be a family costume. I feel like no one is going to get it.
Right.
So I can't decide how
Right.
committed I want to be to the
Oh,
theme.
we'll get it. We've got to see it in the Discord. Give the people what they want. We demand Mara Jade.
Okay. I'll do my
as
best.
Call it
Absolutely
Ben the whole
demand
night. Call your child Ben. Ben, get over here, Ben.
That's right. Are you going to go catsuit? Are you going to go catsuit sleeveless? This is a whole controversy among Mara Jade fans. Like, she's almost always depicted in the catsuit with no sleeves. However, she's described as having a holdout blaster up her sleeve. She has a holdout blaster in the sleeve, and yet the artists are always like, let's amp up the sexiness and stick her in. Stick her
Or
in a catsuit.
celebrate her awesome muscles, which I am a muscle mommy myself. So, like, all about showing off the arms any chance I get. If I can flex, you bet I'm on it. No, I'm like, they're not, like,
Yeah, she's cut like Sabioth for our audio listeners.
not yet. I'm working on it. Yeah, no, I'm working on it. I'm trying to gain some muscle. So we'll see. If I have enough definition, maybe I'll probably go the sleeveless route just because that is the classic how she's depicted visually. Maybe next year I'll go the more authentic route. We'll have to see.
Freddie, you can do Halloween this year? You gonna do costumes?
Yeah.
You're
pretty
dadding
sure.
it up this year.
I've got some reserve costumes from the post-Halloween sale at Spirit from last year.
Stock
That's
up.
the most
Impressive.
fantastic. That's so cheap. I mean, resourceful of you, Freddie.
Ghostbusters, likely. Very likely.
Love it. Hey, can you come visit my Lego set and bust some ghosts out of this bad
Sith
boy?
Lord's a little difficult to get out, but we'll try.
Yeah, you have to possess children to then. Also, Corin Horn has to be there. It's a whole thing.
Yeah.
We do family costumes every year, and I'm very excited about this year's. My wife isn't so jazzed. My kids and I basically told her she was going to do it with us, whether she liked it or not. We're going to be the X-Men this year.
Oh.
The X-Men. So I'm going to Cyclops. Bought a visor off Etsy. Got like the shirt, kind of the blue and yellow, going with the 90s look for Cyclops. My kids are going to be Rogue and Storm, and my wife is Jubilee,
All right.
Nice.
which I guess makes me a predator. Cause
Oh, yeah.
Jubilee's,
She was a student.
underage, right?
We don't need to overthink Halloween costumes. Let's do everyone a favor and not do that. Yeah?
Wow, what an episode we've had so far. We've already impregnated sisters. And we're preying on... Anyway, moving on from Bracken's thrift store. A little segment that we call Legends Lookout. We've got some pretty cool news here in the upcoming Legends news. You think about the fact that we're now 10 years removed from the D-Day, as we call it, when Disney yeeted canon into Legends over into its own timeline, however you want to look at it. However, there's a lot of news this month. First and foremost, very cool. We just have a tease. We don't have the full announcement yet, but the tease from the folks across the pond at Inkstone. We've been getting the hardcover re-releases of the ELCs. Freddie, you got the Kenobi one, right?
Yes. And then they released another one as well. I forget which one.
Into the
Is it
Void.
Into the Void.
I got Dawn of the Jedi. I think I'm going to sell it so that I've got enough money to buy this one, and that is they have teased that the next ELC hardcover, they're really nice collectible copies. They've got the sprayed edges and the gold foil. The next one is going to be Darth Plagueis
Ugh.
by James
Excellent
Lucino.
choice.
I
Number
know,
one
I'm so
canon
excited.
book.
Yeah, Freddie's favorite canon book.
I love
Crazy
that.
thing is, I listen to this on audio like all the time. I love the audiobook. So if I buy the collectible copy, what am I going to do? Just like leave it on the shelf and keep listening to the audiobook? Probably.
Isn't
a
that
dense
what you
book.
do with
There's
like
no doubt.
most of your books?
Yeah, our friend Steven calls them audiobook trophies.
You know, that's where I've
It's,
seen that. Where like you listen to the book and then like you read it on Kindle or something and you go and like reward yourself with a physical copy just to like prove to the world that you actually read it.
You know, it's just for the aesthetic.
Oh
It's for
yeah.
the aesthetic.
But I mean, if it's like a pretty book, then yeah, for sure.
They're beautiful books.
Yeah.
Inkstone makes some beautiful books. There's no doubt.
You know what's not as beautiful though is Darth Plagueis' big friggin' face. The
He's
teaser they put out it's kind of creepy.
How are they going to fit that face on the book?
The same way he fits all of his knowledge of midi-chlorians into his big freaking brain.
In my head, Darth Plagueis looks like
Compress them.
if like Lord Voldemort and like an alien had a baby,
Yep.
and it was like this big
That's right.
bulbous
Yes.
Lord Voldemort head. That's kind of what I'm imagining.
Right.
Is that
Like
on?
the Cantina aliens, like
Yeah.
Figure Dan and the modal nodes. That's right.
Okay.
He's immune, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes, he
Yeah,
is.
no nose. No nose. I saw somebody online say, have you guys seen The Acolyte yet? Have you watched The Acolyte?
No, not yet.
No.
Okay, well, I'll save the joke. I'll save the joke. Ask me in Discord if you want to hear it. I don't want to spoil it for our listeners that haven't seen it yet. So, holding on to that one. I love it when I start to tease a joke on a podcast and then don't say it. That's just great content. You know what else is great content? Shadows of the Empire. That's right. You can't escape it. Can't escape it. Freddie, tell the good folks about the next line of Shadows of the Empire merch.
Yeah, first of all, amazing merch line back in the day, but Hasbro recently announced plans for a renewed Shadows of the Empire line of figures, including everybody's favorite bad boy in shoulder pads, Dash Renda.
Ooh.
I love that you use the Massachusetts accent for that. Even though I don't live there anymore, the joke lives on. I actually just unlocked the Dash Rendar shoulder pads in Jedi Survivor the other day, and then I took Caleb from the Cosmic Forces advice and gave Cal Kestis a mullet and a mustache. So I currently have a very sleazy-looking Dash Rendar lookalike running around Kobo.
I love that. That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, you know
Dash
who else is
NASCAR.
sleazy? Prince Shizor.
Oh, yes. Careful when sniffing the toy.
Every time my students
right. So you
ask
gotta-
for book recommendations, I have to like panic filter. I'm like, oh no. Like, I don't know. I don't think you're ready. You're not
You
ready
need a
for
bookmark with
Legends.
a picture of Prince Shizor in the bathtub that says panic filtering,
Panic filtering.
Panic.
like it's
Oh my
1996. Yeah.
I'll never forget because I read
so
that book
Prince
for the
Shizor-
first time in the NICU. And I was like, this feels so wrong.
It was wrong.
It was.
But here we are.
Anyway, moving along.
So there's a Prince Shizor figure. I think this one's further along in development, but we've already got some concept images. Chat us up in Discord and we'll show them off. Though, you know, in SFW, the Shizor images. In SFW, not smelling for work. You know what I'm saying? So, that one, I believe, is coming down the pipeline a little sooner. Dash Rendar is still in development. Those are the only two that we know of so far. But, hey, Emily, you did the next little bit of Legends news here. I'm wondering, trying to rack my brain. You did the holiday special of the Star Wars Archives with Trevor and Jose.
I definitely did.
You did. But did you do the Ewok movies?
No.
Have you seen those?
I've not.
Have you seen them?
No.
The Battle for Endor and Caravan of Courage.
Caravan
What
of
about you, Freddie?
Courage. Oh, yeah. Believe it or not, I think those might have been some of the first things I watched before I saw actual Star Wars.
Really?
I was like maybe 3 or so.
So
Yeah.
good. So good. I used to rent the first one, Caravan of Courage, from our local video rental store, like on repeat, in an endless loop. I was just always checking it out. We probably spent $200 renting Caravan of Courage. However, some very cool Ewok news. Number one, in the recent canon Marvel comic called Ewoks 2024, this miniseries includes a couple of old school Ewoks references. Say that 5 times fast. the Dulocs. The Dulocs were from the TV show, I believe. They're like green Wookiees. They're bad guys, kind of villainous but goofy, cartoony. The Dulocs are back, y'all. So hide your children, hide your wives. And also an Ewoks character from the TV show known as the Red Ghost, whose identity is a bit of a little lore mystery, so I don't want to spoil it. But very cool character. Glad to have those back in canon, but that's not it. Everybody's favorite freaky Ewok, Teek, is back. Teek, the speedy little freak show from Battle for Endor, is officially about to be canon imminently. Emily, have you ever even heard of Teek before? Do you know anything about Teek?
You might as
If
well
not,
have been
please.
speaking a different language for these last 5 minutes. I've been trying to track what you're saying, and all I hear when you say Duloc is Shrek. I'm like, okay, what has Lord Farquaad got to say about all this?
Yeah, I've seen some memes.
And anyone used to call Teek a little speed freak. I have no idea what that means.
Yeah, Teek the Freak. That's what we call him.
Teek the freak. Would not have thought one could apply that term to an Ewok, but I'm glad to know that it's an option.
I'm not certain he is an Ewok.
He's not?
He might be a
What is
different
he?
race.
He's almost like a Wampa and Ewok love child.
Yeah. Yeah, but also Flash, the speedy, like Quicksilver. He's got the superpowers of super speed. He's weird. Emily, don't look it up tonight or you won't sleep.
I won't.
Look it up tomorrow morning so you can have a freaky day.
Oh,
Save it for Friday. You can have a Freaky Tiki
yay.
Friday.
Freaky Tiki Friday.
Freaky Tiki.
So
Part of
shout
our
out
new
to Teek.
segment.
Oh, my word.
Yeah, we record just like a special 2-minute segment every Friday. I don't think it's going to happen. Not we're going to replace Thracken's Thrift Store. But Teek is back. He's going to be in Skeleton Crew, new show that's dropping in December. Teek is going to... I'm skeptical about how they're going to pull this off, but also titillated. You know what I mean?
It's interesting, Jared, because I feel like we're starting to see a little bit more of the legends creep into canon. At least some of the more esoteric creatures and
Yeah, it's
beings.
getting weird.
Yeah.
That's right. We've had Hoojibs. Hoojibs were in a Marvel
Hoojibs.
comic.
Yeah.
Getting into the good stuff. Emily, you've been shaking your head vigorously ever since I said the word. What did I say? Titillated. You look
I
disturbed.
have been reading too much romance lately. That's all I have to say. And everything, every other word out of your gosh darn mouth, Jared, has got me in stitches. I just
Yeah.
why did you choose that word?
Don't make me laugh too hard, or I might puke.
Yeah, let's avoid that. Ugh.
Yeah. So shout out to Freaky Teek. We love Teek and Skeleton Crew. Looking forward to Skeleton Crew. I'm gonna be putting together a watch party with some of my buddies. IRL, real friends. I do have real friends that talk Star Wars with me, guys. It's not just the two of you plus Rick.
Good for you. You're my only Star
they're-
Wars friends. I've got no others.
Maybe we'll do a watch party for the finale. You guys could come and join my real friends. Maybe we'll see. We'll see. But there's,
don't wanna
there's more Legends
cross-pollinate.
news.
That's a cross episode.
About it,
right.
cross the streams. We'll see. We've got a little bit more Legends news here. Emily, you want to take the next wave of ELCs for us?
Sure. So coming out on
Before we start, Emily, to this day, I am shocked that we have Legends news. Every time I see upcoming releases,
Right? There's always
what
a
is
lot.
going on?
There's always a lot of content where I'm like, wow, this is more than I feel like people can understand at one time, most of the time. Anyway,
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I'm behind on the ELCs. I've not even been able to keep up with collecting them all physically because they've been rolling them out at such a
they really have.
speedy Teek pace.
They really have. Well, coming your way, November 5th, which is just a couple weeks from now. We've got The Force Unleashed by Sean Williams, based on the story by Hayden Blackman. We've got X-Wing Solo Command by Aaron Alston. The Han Solo Adventures by Brian Daly. And finally, Dark Lord, The Rise of Darth Vader by James Luceno. That's so exciting. All four of those are launching at the same time.
Yes, and
Yeah.
and honestly, if you count the Han Solo Adventures as 3 books, which I do, shout out to Rick, who tried to discount my Lando Calrissian trilogy and make it into one book back when we did the 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 challenge, the race to the finish thing.
Okay.
If you count those as 3 books, this is actually 6 stories all coming out.
That is true, but are there
on the
6
same day.
covers, or is the Han Solo Adventures? Are they going to be 1 cover?
It will be 1 volume, but they were originally released as 3 volumes.
No, that's
They're 3
4.
separate
That's
books.
4 books. I feel like that counts as 4. I fear.
Well, I'm excited for these. I especially the covers are great. The cover, the art for the Force Unleashed is spectacular. We've even seen artwork. Now I don't know if we talked about this on the show or not. For the Force Unleashed 2, we've seen that now as well, which is fantastic. Same artist, looks great. But what's especially hilarious and iconic in equal measure is the cover for Solo Command has a big space horse front and center in orange. It's very bold. Love it so much.
Space Horse?
Yeah, Freddie, you remember the name of the character, the space horse that's in Wraith Squadron? Big old horse face.
It's not
Like a couple girls in
Lucifer.
my high school, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
There was a girl we called horse face. I guess that was bullying. We shouldn't have done that.
Probably not.
Too late now. Statute of limitations.
Statue. Speaking of statue,
I
Yeah.
did say statue, sorry.
Oh, I
So-
see what you mean. That's so strange. What an interesting choice.
it's bold. It's very bold.
Big old horse face book. You love to see it.
Jared, which one of these are you most excited for?
Well, I would be most excited for the Han Solo trilogy because I want the audiobook. I want the audiobook so bad. We don't have an audiobook for this yet. I would keep asking for it. Yeah, not to be greedy to our folks at Del Rey and Penguin Random House Audio. We do. Hey, we're loving these. Keep giving them to us. We're like crackheads over here. I'm due for a reread on The Rise of Darth Vader. It's been
That's the
10
one right there.
years-ish for me.
Yeah.
Yeah?
That is such a
excited for that
good
one?
one. Yeah, that's I remember talking about that one over Thanksgiving like many, many years ago. Somebody
Just
who
you and the turkey?
It's just me and the turkey, just chatting about Dark Lord Rise. It was a few folks who had not ever read any Legends books, and they started with that one and were completely captivated by it.
Yeah, it's an easy sell.
Yeah, especially with like the what is Anakin? Well, not really Anakin anymore, but what is Vader feeling in his suit? What is it like on a daily basis? And you go through that struggle with him, and the pain, and really just the consumption of the dark side continuing to take him over, and his obsession with bringing things to life or bringing his love back to life. It's all he's
man,
he's
it's
still
so
thinking
good.
about it. Yeah.
Lucino's so good at getting under the mask of the character, and like literally in this case, getting under Vader's mask and talking about the pain of what the suit feels like, and
Colostomy
that's what
bag.
everybody always talks about with that book. And
He talks
we
about
should cover
that
it
in
on the
that
show.
book?
Oh yeah,
I'm about to say, if we weren't
like-
committed to the longest series in Legends history, I would totally want to do this next. But no, here we are.
coming your way, 2032.
2032. When we finish the new Jedi Order. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, once my kids are out of high school, we'll get around to it. So, the Dark Lord, the Rise of Darth Vader. Emily, you got one of these that's the most captivating to you?
Let's see. The Han Solo Adventure sounds pretty good to me too. I think I was able to read at least half of that before I had to take a break because we were moving or something like that. It's been a dramatic few years, but it was really good though. I mean, honestly, like
he was so ahead of his
there's
time.
no
Brian
bad
Daley.
choice here, quite frankly. I love when
No.
like because Darth Vader is such a non-verbal character by and large. So I love when you get books about characters like those, and you like get all the details behind. Like that's how I fell in love with Star Wars books. Because at first I was like, okay, why does everybody love Darth Vader so much? He just like chokes people invisibly. Like that's his shtick. Like there's nothing else.
That's just shtick.
Yeah, like I mean, like what is the appeal? But then like when you get to like reading everything, he became one of my favorite characters. And so I stinking love that.
For sure. And shout out to our friends at Penguin Random House Audio for hooking us up with some comp copies of the audiobooks for The Force Unleashed, performed by none other than the legendary Mark Thompson, as well as continuing the great string of X-Wing audiobooks by Mark Thompson, as well with X-Wing Solo Command. Looking forward to plugging those in next time I punch it and take off on a road trip.
We've
But
interviewed
that's
Mark
not all we
Thompson,
can look at.
right?
we
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
he was
I
at our
did-
table.
I did a 3.5-minute interview with him at Celebration. We need to
Okay.
get a full,
But we
an
met him.
actual full length one.
I
We
would
did.
Yeah, we
love to pick his brain because he's read like almost all of these. So I would
Yeah. Yeah,
so
we need to,
love
we
to,
need to.
like hear his
Our
thoughts.
people will talk to his people.
Yeah. So if you've got connections, if you're a listener, please help us out.
Yeah, we've got his contact. We just gotta.
I know.
He's always doing conventions. He gets around to a lot of
Yeah.
conventions.
He's so
Do you know
nice.
he's Gengar? Do you know he's the voice of Gengar from Pokemon?
Is he?
Really?
Yeah,
That dude
Yeah, he's
is
several
crazy
Pokemon.
talented. Talk about diversity.
Yeah, Jedi Gengar. Gotta love it. Gotta
You said
love
he
it.
was Dengar at first. I was confused.
No, Gengar. Gengar is a Pokemon.
I thought I was tripping again. You're just like sprouting out things. Words that aren't words. Yes. That
All right,
makes sense.
when we interview him, we need to have him do a conversation between Gengar and Dengar.
Oh my gosh.
You know he can do it. You know
Yo,
he
okay,
night with
so
Mark Thompson.
true, slight, just a little derailment. So switching back and forth between accents is wicked hard. So like I'm reading the
yeah.
Princess Bride book to my class right now, and I kind of underestimated how complex that would be to read out loud.
Oh, it is. Yeah.
Because
you gotta really be on it.
my gosh, it is really difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I read to my kids, I'm always doing crazy voices. Our favorite, like, little bedtime read-along books are, it's a comic, like, graphic novel series called Laser Moose and Rabbit Boy. And my Laser Moose, they're fantastic. You should get them for your kids. Just whoever's listening, get them, buy them. Doug Savage is the author. They're fantastic. Freaking adore these. But I do, like, a King of the Hill voice for Laser Moose. So, Laser Moose is kind of here, Rabbit Boy. And then Rabbit Boy's kind of eccentric, and he's got kind of one of these voices here, but I'm like always like trying to cheat ahead and check the speech bubbles for which character's which.
It's hard to keep
Sometimes I'll read the
track.
wrong line, and oh man, and then their villain is Cyborgupine, who I give like a Russian accent, which I'm not gonna do over the air right now. Okay? It's very fun. You're totally
love
right.
it.
Shout out to Mark Thompson.
Yes.
It takes a very special skill
It
set.
really does.
Yeah.
Well done.
But a couple more upcoming releases here before we get into our very big special news, which we're just dying to talk about, and that is the next Marvel Epic Collection has been announced. You want to take this one, Freddie?
Sure. Marvel Epic Collection The New Republic Volume 8 is releasing really soon, October 29th. The 8th and final Epic Collection from the New Republic run. Wow, that's a big one.
Yeah, I shouldn't have said announced. We knew about this one. It's just imminently releasing, so now's
Yeah.
the time to pick it up.
Yeah, and it's collecting a pretty decent amount of things here. We've got Invasion 0 through 5, Invasion Rescues 1 through 6, Invasion Revelations 1 through 5. It sounds like the new Bible, by the way.
Man, I love the alliteration here. You know I love the alliteration.
Star Wars Handbook 2, Crimson Empire, and then material from Star Wars Tales 18 through 19 and 21.
Yeah, I actually had the chance to read these recently. These tie into the New Jedi Order. So these are from Dark Horse Comics several years after the New Jedi Order had finished, but it was basically Dark Horse's take on the New Jedi Order. So it's about a 15, 16 issue ongoing series that was actually kind of canceled prematurely, just kind of ended abruptly. The story is a little bit incomplete, but definitely worth a read for all of our New Jedi Order heads out there who are loving following along with us. You got to pick this up, continue the story in the comics, and see the Yuuzhan and Vaughn come across really cool in comics. They're made for comics. They really are.
Yeah.
They
So
really are.
talked about these recently on a side episode with our buddy Caleb from the Cosmic Forest. Shout out to Caleb, new dad Caleb. Caleb and his wife just had a baby. Shout out to baby Caleb. The baby was born with a mustache. Did you guys see that?
And a mullet.
Love that. So listen to that one if you want to hear this after you've picked up your copy of The New Republic Volume 8 Marvel Epic Collection. But guys, the time has come. For months, we've been sitting on a secret. It's
Toiling.
Eugenie's worst kept secret. In fact,
You're not wrong.
it's leaked a little bit here and there,
Just a
in the Discord.
tidbit. Yeah.
among other places. Freddie, tell the good folks what this is. What are we excited about, and when can they find it?
Ooh. Oh, man, I feel like I need a ring. You know, I need to get into the ring. I need someone to announce my name. what color shorts I'm wearing. It's a big
Yeah.
one because it is.
It helps
called...
though, Freddie, because your picture right now, for whatever reason in Zoom, is coming through in atomic purple.
Oh yes, it is. It is atomic purple because we are announcing our. Would you call it a spin-off? Maybe. It's called Retro Roundhouse.
There it is, Retro Roundhouse, our 90s nostalgia spin-off podcast of sorts, though not exclusively 90s, Freddie. Just a little bit of early aughts thrown in
Early
there.
aughts, yeah.
Millennial childhood nostalgia.
Some
Yeah,
millennials.
how would
for
you
sure.
pitch it to people, Emily?
Well, I feel like it's like a great ice cream sundae with like everything on it. You got a little bit of 90s, you got some aughts, you got slime, you've got a little sprinkle of early 90s, and then like a heavy dose of, the good stuff. Like, I don't know. It's hard to like encompass
It's like
it.
a love child of Legends Lookback, plus all the fun things that are not Star Wars that we're always talking about anyway all the time.
Yes.
Except for now we have our own separate platform
Yeah.
to talk about it.
So it's like the same vibe. So same hosts, same banter. If you like this banter, you'll probably like our Retro Roundhouse. But we're just covering a broader range of topics. So it's like a little bit different every week. So it's kind of like a book club, but a little bit extra, because we're doing, instead of just books, we're doing like shows. And in fact, we're not doing any books. I don't think it's all.
Hey, we
it's
should
all
do like
watching
the Goosebumps
things.
books one of these
That
days.
would
That'd
be
fun.
wicked.
yeah.
That'd be awesome. And we should do probably Star Trek too, because like I don't know if you're gonna allow it to be on the Star Wars show. We'll
All right,
see.
see you guys.
Oh, I had to throw Rick in. Rick's not here tonight, so I had to throw him in for honorable mention.
So
Yeah.
the good news is Legends Look Back is still going to be here.
Yes.
It's not going anywhere. We are more committed than ever to producing a great Star Wars Expanded Universe Legends exclusive show. It's part of the Utini Podcast Network. We've got great plans in the works for more shows here, but we wanted more. The 90s was nothing if not like maximalism and excess.
Yes.
And we're going all in, Freddie.
We are.
How what's your pitch? Why are we doing Retro Roundhouse, and what is it?
Retro Roundhouse is a nostalgic kick in the face.
That's the tagline.
Yeah, that's the tagline. It is a place of mystique to explore your childhood wonder once again, to get slimed, to play with Gak, and to find the ever elusive orange VHS tapes.
There it is.
It's a reminder of things past that we're not quite ready to let go.
It's a little
Yeah,
warm.
we got plenty of Star
fuzzies.
Wars references thrown in there along the way.
Oh yeah.
Though the Star Wars is going to be happening on this show. We do have Rick, who's not able to join us for this episode. Rick's going to be a consistent host there. Plus, sometimes he's not able to make it. We've got some other guests thrown in. People are clamoring in the Utini team for. I mean, we've already had some like little staff wars about who gets to join for one episode or another. We banked a few already. And excited to unveil all those. I don't want to give them all away, though. Don't want to spoil it all. I will say. Very excited for our Rocket Power episode, which we just recorded most recently. Freddie and I have been talking Rocket Power for years. Finally got
we
to
get to
tackle.
talk about it. Yeah.
So the basic idea is like each one of us, when it's our turn, we pick a topic. So I would pick, let's say, X-Men. We haven't done X-Men yet, but let's say that we will sooner or later. So then we would all watch, if it's the X-Men animated series, I would pick out like 5 episodes. We would watch those 5 episodes, then we come together to talk about it. Then it's Freddie's turn. Freddie might pick Brink, for example, the decom. So then we all watch Brink. So it'll either be one movie or 5 episodes of a TV show, or every now and then something a little bit off the wall, like a debate, which we've been teasing for forever, about which boy band is best.
Okay, go on.
It's still going.
Yeah, we don't have it settled yet. One of these.
Yeah.
One of these days. But, as it relates to Legends Look Back, this is not just a promo for our new show. The fact of the matter is nostalgia plays a key role in why we like Star Wars, especially Star Wars Legends. For me, I remember the day, and I talk about this all the time. I'll keep the story short and sweet. The time that I walked into the library and I found Dark Empire sitting on this shelf. Did not know this existed. I picked up that Cam Kennedy art. It blew my mind. Could not believe how creative and different it was than anything I had ever seen. Luke is looking like a Scooby-Doo villain. You've got slimy, naked, cloned Emperor Palpatine, and I could not believe that this story went so hard. You've got Hot Dog Boba Fett, back from the dead. The Sarlacc found me somewhat indigestible. I don't know if there's anything that can compete with that feeling of discovering that story for the first time for me as a fan. And that's part of why I love Legends. I love revisiting it and remembering that feeling. Freddie, what about for you? What do you think is the power of nostalgia as it concerns your Star Wars EU fandom? You're probably the biggest believer in the power of nostalgia as a force of nature of anybody that I know.
Well, when I moved to Denver, the first thing we did was we threw on Friends. Right when that happened, everything just kind of fell in line, and that feeling of loneliness of like, man, I don't know anybody in this city, to Friends is on, and just the feeling of which is funny because the Greek, I think nostalgia comes from a Greek word. Can't remember, maybe nostos, which means to return home. It means to return home, and I feel like that's what nostalgia does, is it returns you to maybe your mental home where
you're right. It's nostos for home. I didn't know that.
Just pull it out.
Crushed it, Freddie. Mic drop, buddy.
So nostalgia is powerful for many reasons. One, it gives you something to think about other than maybe the chaos that's surrounding you at the moment, and reminds you of maybe a time that was a little bit simpler, but also some shows that, in my opinion, are some high quality shows that have kind of disappeared with maybe not, you don't see some of that same quality nowadays.
Yeah.
Right, but a different time, a different era. As they say in Star Wars, a more civilized age.
Yeah.
And there's really never been a better time for this, because we now with Disney Plus, and this stuff is fickle, so it could disappear at a moment's notice.
That's true.
We've got more access to like the 90s and early aughts shows and movies, from our childhood than ever before. They're all right there. All the DComs are at the snap of your finger. I mean, for years, Brink was locked in the vault, y'all.
Yeah.
You couldn't watch Brink unless you had it recorded on the DVR or a VHS tape. But now I watch Brink like twice a week. I mean, let's be honest.
So good.
And then on top of that, with Paramount Plus, all the Nickelodeon shows are there as well. And so some afternoons while I'm doing the dishes, I'm just like cranking out an episode of Legend of the Hidden Temple.
Wild Thornberries.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. I'm not watching that one. It's a little wacky for me. Emily, how about you? The power of nostalgia. What about as it relates to your Star Wars fandom specifically?
Oh, geez. Yeah, I think there's something timeless about Star Wars that feels like coming home. Like you've got this classic story, but it's told in a way that is very nostalgic. Like the original trilogy is very 80s. Like the hair, the costumes, even like the way that they're speaking. And so I think it just reminds us of those like warm, fuzzy feelings. I even think like I saw something, this is like probably like a TikTok or something, so I don't know how credible it is, but like listening to the music that you listened to when you were going through your angsty phase in high school.
It wasn't a phase. It was never a phase.
I mean, it has returned me to my phase. I'm straight up set back 20 years now, y'all. But
she's got black fingernails.
I do. I'm going through it. But yeah, no, it's just, it releases chemicals in your brain that like reconnect you to yourself. And so, I don't know specifically the medical terms for that, but I do think there's something powerful to that of just reconnecting to your roots and who you were back then and kind of revisiting, especially because most of us millennials are like approaching a new season of life, right? Most of us are in our 30s.
Hey, I just had a birthday, but don't make me sound old.
Well, no, if you see our middle age is 38. That's depressing. I don't like to think about that.
Refuting the middle age label, okay?
As we all are.
As
we all are. We're approaching a transitional life phase where now we're starting to we're yearning for the good old days. And in reality, they probably weren't that good, but it's better looking back. So ladies and gentlemen, put on your rose-colored glasses with us and return back to the memories.
To our atomic
purple-colored glasses.
That's good. We can put that in a social media post or something. I love it. Well said, Emily. That's beautiful. I really do think there's something there of what I'll do is I'll like listen to some music. We listened to some pop punk the other day in the car. My daughter was singing along in the back seat, which was rad.
What was it?
Then I was like, oh, I don't remember. I'll have to look it up.
please do.
I'll have to look it up.
You, my dirty little secret.
Well, that's on the
All the
playlist.
Mercury
Already. That's on the playlist.
That took me through swim season.
I know that
of six.
"Miss You" by Blink 182 was on. She sang along with that one for sure. But as I was thinking about it, listening to the music, it did transport me to think about like all of life that has transpired since then, and like who I've become and what I've been through, and some of it brutal, some of it difficult, but thinking like, this is who I am.
Yeah.
And this song is part of who I am. And so Star Wars is part of that too. I mean, Star Wars Legends for me, I mean, talking about the Jedi Temple Lego set I just got. As like 10, 12, 13-year-old kid, I was building my own out of just the scrap bricks that I had from other sets in the windowsill of my room while I listened to Legends audiobooks on cassette tape. I just remember that's what I would do. I built my own I had a little Lego Kip Duran, Emily. And then I put a little cape on him, a little purple cape.
Oh my gosh, I am
Just for
learning
you.
more about Lego than I've ever known before. I didn't know you could pop their arms off and you could just like straight up change entire bodies, heads, hair. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
just everything. I didn't know it was all that. I thought the minifigures, you just like kept them assembled. I was wrong.
Oh, no, all of mine are missing a hand at least. I mean, they're Star Wars figures after all.
You know what I just realized? Speaking of that, Emily, you just brought something back from a long time ago. I used to, and now they have a word for it, the uglies, right? Where you would put,
Yeah.
I would put like a cockpit, like the TIE fighter cockpit with the wings of the X-Wing.
Yeah.
And I would just mix and match all of the ships.
So they have this Lego Star Wars like advent calendar that I kind of
I got
really
it.
wanted.
I
You
bought it.
did?
Yes!
I almost
I haven't
got
opened
it, but I was like, I don't know. Like, anyway, I might end up getting it still because I was like, those ships are stinking cute. They're like tiny. Like that would be like, I feel like those uglies would be like adorable uglies, you know, like, because they're like 2 inches big, maybe.
Hey, here's a Lego Star Wars Advent Calendar hack that I discovered the other day. I've not done this, but you could. Find an older year's Advent Calendar that's like on sale and fallen out of favor. Now, the trouble is Legos often go up in price
Yeah.
after they've gone out of market. But I did see last year's Advent Calendar was like half the price of this year's. But this year's is on sale still from the October Black Friday event. Always saving the money here on Legends Look Back, guys. This is what would you do without us? We're looking for those deals, and we've got some very fun things with Retro Roundhouse right around the corner. The first episode of Retro Roundhouse, our new show, is going to drop on Monday, November 4th, so you can listen to it while you wait in line for the election if you're American. And if you're not, congratulations for not having to vote in this one.
Here's a pat on the back.
So, and we're going to have weekly releases. We've canned a few. Makes it sound like we were recording them on the toilet. We were not doing it from the podcast. Weekly releases for season 1. Weekly releases starting November 4th. Emily, save me. Are we ready for the game? Is it time for the game?
Let's play the game.
Let's do it.
I'm ready to
So this
lose.
game is a little bit conceptual, but the idea here is we're trying to connect the dots between the two shows. It's like a crossing of the streams, the merging of the universes, the multiverse of Legends Look Back here. This is the Legends Look Back expanded universe retro roundhouse fusion core extravaganza. And here's what we're going to do. We're going to do 5 categories for retro recommendation here. Retro recommendation for some 90s, early aughts media. Could be a TV show, could be a movie, could be a toy that you loved. Some paraphernalia, if you will. Some of the merch you would get from the fundraiser. All right, something like that. Broader 90s, early aughts media that you would recommend to a Star Wars EU fan. And we're going to go down the list with 5 different categories. So, leading us off is the Thrawn trilogy. The Thrawn trilogy is like the sequels, if you will, of the original trilogy. Everybody loves the Thrawn trilogy. All my homies love the Thrawn trilogy. You got Heir to the Empire, Dark Force Rising. You've got Luke Skywalker, expanding his Jedi masterhood in a real powerful way. You've got a crazy deranged villain. You've also got the introduction of quite possibly the greatest villain in the entire Star Wars Expanded Universe and Grand Admiral Thrawn. You've got the introduction of Luke's love interest in Mara Jade. There's what's not to love? All right, so there's so many different ways you could take this. My retro recommendation for the Thrawn trilogy, and I'll make this it's a little bit conceptual, try to explain it, is none other than Hey Arnold.
Interesting.
I recommend Hey Arnold, and here's why. It's a bit conceptual, it's in left field, so you got to get there with me.
All
Shout out
right,
to all my
you're gonna have to
right
explain
brain
that to me.
homies. Hey Arnold is comfort food. Hey Arnold is an ensemble cast, this big, colorful cast of characters in the same way that the Thrawn trilogy has. I mean, everybody shows up to play. Everybody's there. I mean, you've got Luke, Han, Leia, Thrawn, Mara Jade, Talon Karrde, the Nogri. I mean, imagine the Nogri hanging out in Hey Arnold's, like with Hey Arnold's grandpa. You know, I could just picture it.
Eating
Right?
breakfast.
That is a
Dancing in the
stretch for
street.
me, but I can see where you're coming
Oh no,
from.
it's definitely a stretch, Emily, for
That's
sure.
like doing the split.
For sure. Admittedly.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's my retro recommendation. If you like the Thrawn trilogy for being classic, for being just like threading it down the needle, some baseball on a Sunday afternoon, that's where I'm going with that. Freddie, you got one for the Thrawn
Yeah.
trilogy. Emily's flailing. She's
I'm really struggling with
Floundering
this
over
one because
there.
there's nothing like as classic as the Thrawn trilogy. Like I'm trying to think of something
There's
that's like
one.
so find
absolutely
something
iconic.
classic.
You go, Freddie,
what
and
you
then
gotta
let
find.
me think a little
For
bit
me.
longer on this.
We're talking OG, right? OG, and you said ensemble, and I was like, oh, Rugrats. Easily the Rugrats. Always the group working towards some sort of goal, whether it's a big baddie that they perceive to be a big baddie. You've got the head honcho, of course, who is Tommy Pickles.
Tommy Pickles.
And then, of course, you add folks as the show goes on. You've got Susie and Dill Pickles. For me, I would say Rugrats. If you,
Ooh, here's another layer, Freddie. You've even got a redhead. You got Chucky, Mara Jade.
there you go.
I
There you
feel
go.
like those two are not in the same category.
Come on.
No, let me see. Hold on.
All right, we got to find another show with a redhead for Emily. How about As Told by Ginger?
That was pretty good.
That's a weird one.
You know what? Okay. I'm gonna go Pokemon.
Oh, okay.
Great. That's a really good pick.
great one.
Pokemon, also ensemble. There's a hero. There's light versus dark. It's comical. There's a redhead.
Some of them are blue.
Some
like
of them are
Thrawn.
blue. You got a little bit of everything, and you got some like supernatural powers. Yeah, that'll be my click. Like that is the 90s for me. Was Pokemon, because I wasn't allowed to do a whole lot because I was homeschooled during that time. But I was allowed to do Pokemon. Like we would collect the cards, and like it was like a nice little community builder among the kids, and it was like a classic. Like everybody loved Pokemon.
It is absolutely still a classic. I mean, the kids still today. I mean, tomorrow's like take your stuffed animal to school day, and my kid is bringing an Eevee. I mean, it's still absolutely adored. Love it. All right, Emily, snake order. You get to lead us off with round two.
Okay. Okay.
All right, Freddie's putting bonus picks here in the chat, so you'll have some more to choose from. Here we
That's
go.
true.
For pick number 2, the X-Wing books, Horseface and all.
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
Yub Nub Commander, the X-Wing books, Corran Horn, and all of that. So if people out there like the X-Wing books and they're looking for a stretch pick outside of Star Wars, what would you recommend?
All right. So if you are high action, if you like battle and not a ton of story, if you like lots and lots of action to the expense of relationship plot, then I think you would like Rocket Power. So it is high action. There is some plot, but it's never super, super heavy. But it's just a classic, like you can kind of not have it on in the background, but like you don't have to worry about being emotionally like traumatized from Rocket Power or the X-Wing books. You know, it's not New Jedi Order where everybody's dying, you know? So that would be my recommendation. What do you guys think?
That's great.
It's a good one.
I love it.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
That's a great one, especially because the X-Wing series, they're high action. It is high action.
A lot of battles.
Yeah. It's a good one.
For sure. Freddie, you're up.
Oof. I can see this right now. Hey, Pono. You're no Luke Skywalker, right? He Johnny Tsunami. I think Johnny Tsunami is great because he's really good at what he does on the waves. Like Corin Horn, he thinks he's the hot business, and then he gets on the slopes and realizes, I don't know how to snowboard, and really has to go through the ropes, right? And I feel like Corin Horn really goes through the ringer, especially with Wedge, to prove himself that he is as good as he says he is. And I feel like Johnny Tsunami and the X-Wing books, they make a lot of sense. Also high action.
All right, I'm going to go a different direction. I had a pick in the chat, and I'm pivoting. I was going to say Tailspin,
Okay.
which is like the Baloo from the Jungle Book flying airplanes with his buddies, and it's like early 90s, I think it's Disney, adventure cartoon. I'm going to go a different direction because the X-Wing books have so many like romantic soap opera plot lines. I'm going to go with like Beverly Hills 90210.
Oh.
Or like a teen soap, all the romance, all I don't know. Those are wildly different picks, but if you're still listening, you can listen to both, you can watch both. It's up to you. Let me know, which one do you prefer out of Tailspin and Beverly Hills 90210? Drastically different. Can you see the connection to the X-Wing? All right, guys, next category. This one's easier, and it is, after all, spooky season. As of the time of this recording, we've got Halloween right around the corner. Death Troopers, y'all. Death Troopers, the EU book with the zombie stormtroopers. Death Troopers, Freddy, brings us back to 5 years ago, our first ever episode of Legends Lookback, episode 0.
It's a rough one.
Emily. We had instant chemistry, though. We were still learning how to podcast.
Yeah, totally.
I was so nervous that episode. No, the first episode I was on, I know you were talking about years before I was on.
Yeah. No, but you feel it. You understand.
I understand. I got what I'm smelling what you're stepping in.
All right. Thankfully, nothing that I'm yakking up, which I'm feeling better, which is good.
Got your popcorn bucket?
But not if... I do. The popcorn vomit bowl. It's on hand, which would actually be fitting for Death Troopers, because it is grotesque.
It's yucky.
It's gruesome. It's a little bit less grotesque and gruesome, but still silly spooky. Death Troopers is silly spooky. And that's the Nickelodeon show, Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Now, I have not watched a single episode of this since the 90s. I'm looking forward to a revisit sometime soon. I do remember a buddy and I would watch it after school, and then we would go play outside, until the street lights came on. It was something that we enjoyed together, and was always a little bit much for me, but it was good to get to watch it with a friend, because I scare easily. It's a little bit too spooky for me. Just like the time that as I was listening to Death Troopers, the audiobook, somebody snuck up behind me, and I just screamed bloody murder. Absolutely screamed. It was terrifying.
My gosh.
How about you, Emily? What's your... No, it's Freddy's.
It is
Freddy's up
turn.
next. Freddy on Death Troopers, your retro recommendation.
I was going to say Real Monsters, but I'm going to say Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Oh, good
Courage
pick.
the Cowardly Dog. Yeah,
Oh,
very
that
good.
one freaked me out. I still can't watch
Somebody's at
it.
the door.
I still can't watch it.
Yeah, it is. I used to watch it all the time. I think
So
there
brave.
was like a stolen tablet from King Ramses' sarcophagus. I don't remember it.
Yes.
All he would do is just return the slab, and I was like, oh yeah, that was creepy.
That show is
It was like-
freaky.
The kind of freaky that you can't look away from.
No, yeah, because I remember thinking, I'm like, I need to turn this off. But I just sat there because I was scared to put my feet down off the couch.
Can't. It's mesmerizing.
Yes.
Good pick, Fred.
That was
I love
excellent.
it.
All right, my pick
Emily.
for Death Troopers would be Goosebumps. A little bit. Is it a show or is it just a book series?
It was a show.
It's both.
All right.
It is both, yeah.
Well, I remember reading a couple of those and I thought, ooh, that's a little funky.
You know what? Somebody tagged me on Discord. There's it's like a re-release of, is it like collectible editions of Goosebumps books?
Ah.
Let me look it up here. There's some Goosebumps news. This is going to be, we're going to have like a news segment on Retro Roundhouse like we do for Legends Look Back.
Maybe.
People are always
That's a lot of
tagging me in
news.
this kind of thing. David Schwimmer may be out of his mind in a Goosebumps The Vanishing trailer.
Oh my.
How do we have David Schwimmer in a Goosebumps?
That's an excellent question.
movie
We
or
do need to cover
TV
that.
show?
That's like a little Venn diagram of like Friends and Goosebumps. Like,
Yeah.
what's happening here? Well, I guess kind of
That's great.
sci-fi-y,
That's
a little freaky, just a little scary, not enough to like seriously mess you up as an adult, but like as a kid, you know.
That's right. Yeah. All right, round 4. We got two left here. These are a little more difficult. Feel like
Yes.
Death Troopers was the easy one. That's the
Yeah.
softball. Should have led with that, honestly, but we didn't. And here we are. Round 4, The Old Republic. So The Old Republic is an era more than a book. You've got the video game. We've had like 4 adult novels. Can we count the Bane books? Kind of.
I think so.
Errant,
It
set in
feels
there.
the same when I'm reading them.
It's not a video game tie-in, but
Yeah.
it's in the era. It's in the era. There's comics. It's a video game. We're talking ancient. We're talking about like heroes of yesteryear.
And villains of yours.
So, how about Freddie? You lead us off this time
Yeah,
around.
this one's tough. I was trying to think, like, do I pick just something that's super old in terms of my nostalgia, something that's relevant? I was thinking Captain Planet, possibly. That was a pretty old one for me. People working together towards a common goal. You definitely see that a lot in the Old Republic. I could also think of maybe
Legends of the Hidden Temple.
Oh,
that
that's
one.
a good one.
That's a good one.
Good
We'll
pick
go with
for this.
Yeah, I'll go with Legends of the Hidden Temple.
The Blue Barracudas.
Yeah.
Love that. I watched that recently because I was like trying to develop Retro Roundhouse, doing some research, was watching it, and they were like temple guards. You guys have to go and watch some on Paramount Plus. There's temple guards hanging out in the big like fort that they had constructed there in Orlando, and they will scare the living bejesus out of these kids. They will legitimately jump out and terrify those poor kids. Sometimes the kids will leap like a good 3 feet off the ground when they when they get scared by
Oh my
those guards.
gosh.
It is hilarious. It's fantastic. Love it. They don't do that kind of crap to kids anymore like they used to. We need to start scaring kids.
We really do. We really do.
Forget making America great again. Make America scary again.
Yes.
okay?
Yes. Speaking of ominous,
man.
scary things, if you like ancient history, mythology, lore, like the Old Republic, it's kind of creepy. It's dusty. It's a lot of foreshadowing. You're not really sure. You're murky. You're in the dark a lot of the times. I think you would really love, as an adult, watching The Mummy.
Ooh.
Oh, what a pick.
I
a good pick.
loved The Mummy. Like, absolutely loved it. And it's got like a little bit of something for everybody, but it is very ominous. It's very like
And creepy.
gray area. Like, it's not black and white.
Right, yeah.
It's really like, if you like the feeling of the Old Republic, I think you'd really like The Mummy.
I might have to check that out. The Mummy was kind of a skip for me growing up.
Oh, really?
So, yeah.
Oh, good.
to try
I'm gonna
it
have
again
to
as
watch
an
it
adult.
again. Let me see how I can stream that.
Wait, which one has The Rock?
I feel like that's The Mummy 2. I feel like he was in one of them.
Is it? Okay.
I'll have to figure it out.
He's in a sequel.
Yeah, he's in a sequel. He's not in the first one. The first one's
From what
the
I
best
remember,
one.
it's not as good.
Yeah. But that whole series,
Anyway.
quite frankly, if you like one, you'd probably like the others, even though the other ones aren't quite as good as the first.
Shout out to The Rock, though.
Ah.
Is that like his first big acting thing?
I don't know, man. That dude's been all over.
I think so.
He has lived with a capital L.
Yeah. Well, all right. My pick, unfortunately, I just did some Googling. It's not 90s. It's even older than that. But this is the Old Republic.
Disqualified.
So we're
Straight to
talking about
jail.
the era. We're talking about the era that podcast jail. We're talking about the era that like precedes your main core era,
Okay.
right?
Laid the
So I
foundation.
mean that's
So according to your
that's
line
what
of
we're doing
logic,
with-
yours is better.
that's what we're doing with the Old Republic
Interesting.
here. It's a blast from the past. My pick. Shout out to Wes from the Utini show, The Living Force. Wes recently turned me back on to a classic gem. Rewatched it with my daughter. The first one, at least recently, need to keep the marathon going, and that is The Never-Ending Story.
The never-ending story. Wes put you onto that?
Yeah, Wes, he name-dropped it in a recent episode of the TV show.
Why?
I turned it right on.
Was it good? Is it? I've never seen it.
What?
No,
Yeah,
I've never seen it.
We need to do a retro roundhouse movie night where,
Oh, that'd be fun.
like a live call, the viewers can hop on.
Ew,
with
what
us.
is going on with the cover of this? I need to watch this. There's stories here.
Yeah,
It's interesting.
It's got a big dog dragon that flies around, and it's like puppet. So it's like pre CGI.
Yeah.
So everything's animatronic. It's so weird.
Is it going to be as horrifying as dinosaurs?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Can't wait. Yay.
But it's Campbellian in its hero's journey.
Okay.
Whereas
Oh,
Dinosaurs, the TV, we're talking about the 1990 Dinosaurs TV show from Michael Jacobs. We watched it for Retro Roundhouse. It's Rick's fault. Rick picked it. It's almost nihilistic.
I like it, though. I keep thinking
And-
about it.
I know.
It's really
Never
good.
Ending Story has that. It's got that kind of weird vibe to it.
All I know
But-
is I was really good at that song in DDR. Dance Dance Revolution, for those of you who are not
That's so
in the
great.
know. That's all I know,
I would
but I can't
never.
wait to watch it.
Wow, DDR. Did not expect that reference.
I need to get that.
Yeah, there's some great songs in my next pick that I think would be great for Dance Dance Revolution.
Oh, go on. Why don't
All
you
right,
lead
so
us off?
The last category is the New Jedi Order. That is, of course, what we're covering this year and beyond, let's be honest, on Legends Look Back. And New Jedi Order, we're halfway through, a little over halfway through. We're loving it. Absolutely loving it. Emily's not tired of it at all. And my pick for New Jedi Order, because it's early 2000s. It's dark, it's broody, and it's kind of forward-thinking and progressive. We've got The Matrix. The Matrix. Good one. Love.
Interesting.
Yeah, the Matrix, the last song, the ending credits song is Rage Against the Machine. Come on. Da 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 da. Yeah, so that would be great in DDR.
It would.
The Matrix. And it's got Freddie's favorite Star Wars actor one of these days.
Yeah, he's
Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, Keanu Reeves. He
Future
plays
Star
him in
Wars
any
actor.
movie.
Dude, that man is a legend.
I mean, Freddie, did you see that there was a pretty credible rumor that he had been in talks for the Acolyte? He was for the main character, the main Jedi Soul.
would be so
that
good.
Keanu Reeves was. How credible is the rumor? I don't know. It looks legitimate from what I've seen online. That we could have had Keanu Reeves in Star Wars.
We'll see.
You're holding
We'll
out
see.
for Revan, though, aren't you?
Oh yeah, I think he'd be a good Revan.
You just blew my mind. He would be
All right,
the
blow our mind now,
perfect
Emily.
Revan. Oh, now I can't see anybody else. Who can I call?
Idris Elba could do it.
Nah,
How about Kristen Bell? She could do it. It could be anyone. That's my point. It could be anyone.
Oh my
Revan
gosh.
is-
I guess
Revan
he's
isn't anyone
asked.
character.
No, it's got to be Keanu. I cannot unsee that. Dang it. You ruined it.
Seth Rogen. He'd be a good one.
Ah,
All right, Emily, you are up for New Jedi Order. What's your retro recommendation, and we'll wrap this sucker up.
all right. So if you like very, very long series in which you will feel all of the feels, including mostly just grief, then I feel like you would be well served watching a Band of Brothers.
Oh, I love that you went into the grief.
I mean, that's kind of been where I jumped in on New Jedi Order. It's like just everyone is dead, pretty much. So that's how I am feeling about all of this. So if you really like feeling yucky inside and the world is doomed and you're fighting a battle.
Inside, listen to our podcast.
No. It's seriously, it's excellent, but it gets you deep into some dark places. But it brings you back up again. So if you like that kind of thing, then I think you would really like Band of Brothers. Very well done.
All right, Freddie, Or are you going to take it? You going to go the grief heavy direction?
No, I'm going with chaos.
Oh,
New Jedi Order is
Love
just
that.
utter chaos to me, and it's just chaos everywhere. Every planet, every system is experiencing chaos. So I was like, okay, well, what's chaotic? Streak sharks is chaotic.
That's a wildly different direction, let's be honest.
Animaniacs.
Freddie loves street sharks.
Dude.
Animaniacs.
Rollerblading sharks, chaos. Animaniacs, they're just chaos, right? They're weird creatures and they're chaotic.
Okay.
And I just thought, okay, well, there might be something a little bit better than all two of those.
Oh, you're about to do it. Oh, he about to do it.
And I think it's this show that maybe
No way.
Maybe you've
You
watched
gonna
it.
do it?
Maybe you haven't. But it's Kablam!
My favorite show
Oh
all
my
time. Yes.
gosh, kablam!
Creatures, aliens, chaos. You never know what's going to happen next.
Okay,
Hey, what was the segment on Kablam where the action figures? They're like they actually have action figures.
now or something like that.
Action Hero Now. Looking it up. I actually watch this fairly regularly. How have I forgotten?
Action League now.
Of course, I would. Action League Now.
Story.
Yes.
The craziest creatures. You've got what is it? The Melt. I forget his name.
Man, they're crazy. They're crazy.
Absolute
We'll have
chaos.
to cover it on an episode of Retro Roundhouse one of these days. I love Kablam. Prometheus and Bob. That's
Prometheus and Bob.
absolutely a favorite.
Got aliens. Boom.
There it is.
Jedi Order.
It's very New Jedi Order. Well, that's going to be releasing. That is Retro Roundhouse. First episode of Season 1 is going to be releasing Monday, November 4th, releasing weekly through Season 1. We're looking at about a 10 to 12 episode season for that one. And in the meantime, you can do three things. One, subscribe to the show in your podcast platform of choice. We'll get it up in your podcast feeds right about the time of this episode releasing. Could be a couple days later. So keep tuned in over there. Two, let us know in the comments. Turns out Spotify has a comments section, so let us know in the comments what's something you'd like to hear us cover on Retro Roundhouse, a movie, a TV show, or another off-the-wall topic, and it might just make it into a future episode, or you can pop on over to the Utini Discord. We've got a hashtag Retro Roundhouse channel. Let's get the pre-show hype going over there. And, of course, social media. As of now, we have already out there in the world, in the wild, catching a random stray like here and there. We've got social media platforms on both Twitter, also known as X, and on Instagram. So we've got social media on both of those platforms for Retro Roundhouse. We've got some fun, absolutely ridiculous stuff planned for social media for both of those accounts. So check those out. But for the Star Wars homies, we do have more great Star Wars content coming your way. The next episode of Legends Lookback coming your way in 2 weeks. Get your reading in now, folks. And we're going to do a giveaway. We've got a hardcover collectible edition of this we're going to be giving away on the next episode. So tune in for that one to find out how to win. We're going to do New Jedi Order, the Enemy Lines duology, Rebel Dream and Rebel Stand by the late, great Aaron Alston. So looking forward to those great books. Great books. But that'll do it for this week's episode of Legends Look Back. If you're looking for other podcasts to expand your fandom, other than, Retro Roundhouse, like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff, be sure to check out the rest of our lineup in the Utini Podcast Network, including the Cosmic Force, the Star Wars Archives, the Utini Show, the Utini Canon Book Club, and Dice Wars.
Yeah. And thank you to the proud members of the United. A special thank you to Brian Dooley, Carl Sander, and Anthony Shulo, and Michael Fry on our High Council for their amazing support. Want your thoughts read on the show?
You got it,
Yeah.
Freddie. Yeah. You kind of a little quiet for a second. I was like, I'm jumping in!
If you want your thoughts read on the show, email us at legendslookback@utini.com. We're also on Twitter, also known as X, at legendslookback.
Let's keep the party going and hop on over to Discord, where we are continuing the conversation with other Utinians about this week's episode in the Legends Look Back channel, and also the Retro Roundhouse channel, which is already live, and people have already found it before our launch. Shout out to Skooma Joe. You can't pull one on him. He knows everything.
Absolutely. So looking forward to getting that going. That'll do it for us this week. Keep exploring, keep sharing, and let's keep on expanding the universe together. May the Force be with you.
This is a TV broadcast.